Hello, everybody, and welcome to our fall adult softball captains meeting. This meeting, we're just going to go over some rules, where everything's at, quick scores, and some expectations for this season. So let's get started. First of all, quickscores.com/Provo is going to be your best friend. This is what it looks like when you type that in, and then you're just going to scroll to the bottom where softball is, click on it, go to adult softball, and then this has all of the information you need for the season, whether it's what nights you're playing, the captain's meeting link that will be posted here, all of our rules, as you can see right there, locations, rosters and waivers. There's even a video right here that says coach login and roster management tutorial. That will help you guys to add your teams to the roster so then you can get your waivers all filled out, tournament eligibility, and then also all of the schedules. So that's where all those are. We're going to go over some rules real fast. So if you just click on the rule book, this is what it's going to bring up. Feel free to use these rules and reference these rules throughout the season. If there's ever a concern on rules, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or phone number. All my contact information is at the bottom of Quick Scores. My phone number on Quick Scores, however, does not receive text messages, so just keep that in mind. If you're going to leave a message or I'm not in the office, please just leave a message or shoot me an email. My office hours, I'm usually in the office Mondays through Thursdays, 7 a.m. till about 5 p.m. So if you do message me on like a Friday or Saturday, just keep in mind that I'll get back to you on Monday. Okay, so a few rules. Obviously, we're not going to go over all of them, but a few things to highlight. First of all, rosters, you can have 12 to 30 players. However, if you win the league, we just provide 12 awards. So 12 t-shirts or whatever we're doing. So keep that in mind. If you play in multiple leagues, that's kind of on you. You're welcome to, but don't expect Provo's league to basically cancel games or anything around your other league. So keep that in mind. There's no deadline for adding players to your rosters for regular season play. Any player may sign the roster, and as long as you have the waiver filled out, they can play. So just keep in mind, though, in order to be tournament eligible, you have to play in 2 games during the regular season. So you can add teams. If you're a doubleheader team, you can add a player to the very last day of the season and still be eligible for tournament play. So keep that in mind. As far as eligibility, coaches, you're responsible for code of conduct and league rules. You're responsible to know those and share those with your team. Each team, when you guys are at the ballpark, you need to have legible numbers on your back, which can be seen by the scorekeeper in the score booth, which is upstairs, a little ways away. So I would say 6-inch numbers is like the minimum. We're not going to be super picky on this, but if our scorekeepers can't see it, then we're going to have issues. However, tape numbers are not allowed. The tape just falls off when sweaty and all that, or if it's raining. So we also can't have repeat numbers. So if you're on the same team, please make sure everybody has their own number. You don't have to have matching jerseys, just numbers. No metal cleats allowed. Women, you can't play in men's leagues. And then all players need to be 16 years or older. When you are filling out your lineup cards, please put first and last names on the lineup cards and not nicknames. We understand that you know each other by your nicknames, but when we are going through tournament eligibility, and for example, if somebody's nickname's Bubba and on the roster it's John Smith, I'm not going to give you credit for being there when I don't know who Bubba is. So keep that in mind. Your first, full, and last name need to be on the lineup. That helps us to be tournament eligible, and then it can help you if tournament eligibility gets mixed up to go back through and we can look at that. That's about protest. If you ever need to protest, please refer to that and how to do it correctly. Field rules. Just remember while you're at the complex, any children that are there to watch the games need to be supervised, and that supervision cannot come from a player who's on the field. So this is for the safety of our participants and non-participants. Just keep in mind, foul balls are flying and little kids running around with no supervision. We don't want them to get hit or anything like that. So please keep that in mind. And those non-participants are not allowed in the dugout. So unless you sign that waiver, please stay out of the dugout. One rule we want to highlight, pitchers must have a helmet on in order to pitch, not just a face mask. So this rule is coming from the NCS guidelines, which we are going to adopt It's just a big safety thing. We don't require you to wear shin guards and other protection, but it is recommended. However, you must have a helmet and the face mask on in order to pitch, not just a simple face mask. Please remember when you're at the ballpark parking, utilize the parking, but also be aware that home runs are going to be hit. Provo City is not responsible for any damage to cars, so keep that in mind. When it comes to game rules, any team, as you all know, can bat up to 15 players, have free substitution. Any 10 of the 15 players can take the field defensively. However, co-ed has their own rules, which we'll go over in a second. In the co-ed league, there's going to be one legal foul ball allowed on the second strike, but not in the men's leagues. Your bats must have the USSSA stamp on it, so please remember that. As far as our home run rule, we play a one-up rule. So if Team A is playing Team B and Team A hits a home run, Team A can now not hit another run until Team B hits one. So just one up from each other. However, we are going to be enforcing this very, very strict this season. Players must go try to get your home run ball. We understand due to where our complex is, home run balls go in other people's yards, in the school fence, like we understand that, but if you need to make an effort to find it. If you do not make an effort to find your ball, the next time you come up to hit, you will be called out. So please keep that in mind. Like I said, we understand that you cannot get to all the balls, but if effort isn't put in, then you will be called out. Courtesy runners, you're welcome to use the run rule, 20 or more runs in the bottom of the third, 15 or more in the bottom of the fourth, and 10 or more in the fifth. And then we also play the flip-flop rule, so please review that as well. We already talked about bats. Pitching, the arch needs to be 6 to 12 feet from the ground. The release has to be on or behind the pitching rubber, but you can stand behind the pitching rubber if you want to. You don't have to be on the rubber. You just cannot be in front of it. So please keep that in mind. We do use pitching mats, so also keep that in mind for our strike zone. Balls will be provided by Provo City, but once again, you are responsible to retrieve your own home run balls and foul balls. If you're not going to get them, you will be called out. Game time is forfeit time, so please be on time and be ready to play when your game is scheduled. We'll keep going. Tie games. In the case of a tie ball game, we will have one extra inning in the regular season, but games can end in a tie. For all postseason games, we'll play till the winner's declared. All innings will start with a runner on second base, so keep that in mind. Provo City does have a curfew of 11 p.m., so lights out, like we have no control over this. When the lights are on the field, they will shut off at 11 p.m. So if a game's ended at curfew, we'll just revert to the last complete inning, and that will be the score. Rain delays, we will play if we can. However, if there's lightning, you can check our rainout hotline. We will update this when it's bad weather. For adults, it's at 4 p.m. So if you're ever questioning weather, please check the rainout hotline, and we will update that at 4 p.m. on those days. Let's see. A team can play and start with no less than 8 players. If a team has 8 players at game time, you need to start the game. As players arrive, they will go to the bottom of the lineup, so you can't put them at the top. Postponement of games will not happen unless it's a weather postponement, then we can deal with it that way. One rule, or a few highlights of rules and a new rule. So first of all, forfeits aren't going to be tolerated. On your first forfeit, you'll be warned by a phone call by me. Your second one, your team captain will meet with the coordinator and talk about your future, possibly be removed from the league. Any forfeit during the postseason play will result in your team being removed from the bracket and tournament immediately. So if you forfeit your first tournament game, that's it. You're done. Your team will just be removed. So this is just to keep tournament games actually happening. In the spring, we had a lot of forfeits to teams who just didn't show up, and then they would show up for their second game. If you can give us a heads up that you're not going to make it, then we can try and reschedule things, but that needs to be 24 hours in advance. However, if there's no advancement or anything, then your team will be removed from the bracket. So please keep that in mind. We determine things with coin flips. in the losers bracket, or we just go off of the highest seeding, whichever one we decide for the tournament. Like I said, you need to know the player code of conduct. Any team that receives 2 code of conduct violations in a single game will be automatic forfeit that game. And any team receiving 5 conduct violations over this season will be suspended for the rest of the season without a refund. So please keep that. One thing that we also want to look at is anyone throwing a bat will be removed from the game by the umpire, site supervisor, scorekeeper. We know that not all the time this is on purpose, but it's for the safety of the catcher, umpire, everyone there. If you're throwing the bat, you'll get a warning, and after that, you will be thrown out. So keep that in mind. Okay, for all of our men's team, you guys can actually jump off unless you want to listen to co-ed rules, but we're just going to go over co-ed real quick. So co-ed, we're going to use a 12-inch ball for the men, 11-inch ball for the women. Same thing, bat up to 15 batters, but you need to have the batters must go every other. So man, woman, so on and so forth. If you have 15 batters, you must start and end with a girl batting, so you can play with 5 men and 4 women. However, the 5th spot of the woman will be an automatic out. So you can play more women, but you cannot play more men. Positioning can be found right there. You basically just need to space them out correctly. Walks, if a man walks, then a woman following him has the option to hit or take a walk if there's 2 outs. So keep that in mind. If there's only 1 out, then she needs to bat. But if there's 2 outs and you walk a guy, then the girl gets to choose. Home run rule will still be the same, and 1 up as well. With co-ed, we will have a team that has a player in a wheelchair. So for the rules for our wheelchair player, he is going to hit. However, he's not going to run. So please see this page for his exact rules. Please keep in mind, this is a learning curve for everybody. We're super excited to have this in our league and be able to learn and adapt to this, but we are learning as we go. So if you have concerns, please reach out to me. But any player in a wheelchair must not create safety hazards or play for other participants. Any equipment deemed unsafe by the umpire, it will be restricted. So please keep that in mind. A player using a wheelchair will participate as a batter only and won't run the bases unless approved in advance by the league coordinator. Because they're not running the bases, the team that the wheelchair is on, they need to provide a runner for that player. The designated runner needs to be the same gender as whoever is in the wheelchair. So if you have a girl in a wheelchair, it needs to be a girl runner. If it's a boy, it needs to be a boy. The runner will stand behind where the batter is hitting. As the runner gets ready to run, they cannot leave until the ball is hit into fair territory. Once the ball is hit, the runner may take off, and then the batter needs to, as quickly and as safely as possible, get out of the play, whether that's moving forward or backward. Just get out of the batter's box and stay in a safe area. So these are the rules that we're going to add for our participants who are going to be in wheelchairs. Please review them with your team, and so if there's any questions or anything, you can visit here. Like I said, it is a learning curve, so please keep that in mind. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So that is all we have for our softball captains meeting. If you have any questions, let me know. And we are excited to start this season.